Hey, what's going on, friends? My podcast every day is broken up into two parts on the free platform. The first part, Act 1, is right now. When it's all done, go right on over to Act 2 to get the second half of the podcast. Thank you so much for checking out my show. Hello, my friends, and welcome in to the Eric Zane Show podcast. It's a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here in the Impact Power Sports studio. Impact Power Sports. You can find them online at impactpowersportsmi.com. You can also go to their location in Rockford, Michigan, and say hello. The popcorn is free. Anything with an engine that's fun. That's what they will peddle to you. Golf cart, side by side, ATV, BTV, CTV, DTV, e-bike. Whatever you want. Full service department there as well. Thank you to them. The brightness of this hoodie messes up the lighting in the room. Well, it appears to. Messes with the camera. If you happen to see a cat in here, this cat that I've had, a indoor house cat is pretty much indestructible. Average lifespan is like 90 years. They're like tortoises. One of my cats is Milo, and for some reason has been wanting to hang out in this room with the dogs and I, which would be remarkable. If you happen to see a cat, don't let it, it's going to be a big deal, actually. That would never have happened. In all of my years doing this show, hasn't happened once where a cat came in and, hung out with the dogs. But keep your eyes peeled. You never know. Yesterday, I was caught in a flood. No lie. I was driving home from the basketball game, and there was a torrential downpour that had been going on, and my God, this was intense. So much rain that fell. Holy crap. I had an image of it, and now I've lost it. There it is. So, yeah, this is how it unfolded. So I'm driving home, and this is kind of what I saw. So you're looking at all that ice. There had been massive hail falling. And they kind of made little hailbergs in this river. And this dude got stuck. They both did. Look, the guy keeps going. His headlights are sinking further in, and he keeps going. This is remarkable, this clip right here, because he can see that there's a guy stuck in the water. Car won't go any further. Yet he could easily just turn around, but no, I'm going to keep going. You asshole. Yeah, push forward. I left the basketball game, and I noticed right away, I was like, uh-oh. There's a lot of water. You got the time of the year when those storm drains are kind of plugged up by leaves and shit. So this is all downtown right by the arena in Grand Rapids. And then as I venture on my way, Nick says that ramp spot that you park in filled up with 3 foot of water. One dude's car got flooded. Oh, that's right. Oh, fuck. So that means that the people coming out of the basketball game are like, oh, my God. Well, I got the hell out of there. And then it wasn't long before I realized, this is not great. And then I got on one particular road, and I can see in front of me hazard lights and vehicles not moving. I'm like, all right, this is a flood. I got to get the fuck out of here. So I whipped the car around and to go another direction. And then the cars behind me kept going, driving right into the flood. So I went another route. Same thing. I found some high ground in a parking lot, and I go, I'm going to wait here till it goes down. There was a guy following me. It happened to be Hispanic Heritage Night at the basketball game. And I think this guy was at the game. He rolls down the window, and he's got like his Grand Rapids Gold gear on. Younger guy. And he does the same thing I do, and then he pulls up and he rolls down his window. He says, "Senor, what are you going to do?" And I go, hey buddy, I'm gonna wait it out. I'm gonna see how much this water goes down. He goes, "Is there no other way to get where I'm going?" And I said, "Where are you going?" And he goes, "That way." And I go, "Okay, all right, well, I don't know yet. I'm just gonna try to take it as it comes, and if there's deep water in front of me, I'm not gonna go down that road." He goes, "Can I get behind you and wait?" I said, Of course. So then I'm like, I wait there for 5 minutes, and I'm like, there is no way that this water is going away anytime soon. So I went back the way I came, found another way home. Found myself on the freeway / interstate, depending on where you live. I call it both. As I'm driving home, I notice that there's an exit ramp for, I think it's Lane Avenue, it might be, if you're familiar with the area. And it's all cars that one guy went down to exit off, and there's a flood at the bottom of it, and he kept exiting, and he got stranded. And then the cars behind him, they also got stranded. So these people are just driving right into the deepest water with reckless abandon. I mean, this is excellent. This is where the stupid people earn their stupid stripes. And we need to love them for that, because it's buying me 10 minutes of talk time on this show. I continued on my way. By the way, there was on the Grand Rapids subreddit. There was one that I wanted to show you. Another solid clip.
What the fuck?
Of the water. It was a pretty solid flash flood. This guy's walking home with his kid.
Oh, there's a child in the fucking river.
That's fucking great. That's right. You didn't see any of that. I gotta make it so you can see that. My bad. Sometimes I fuck up.
Oh my god. What the fuck? Oh, there's a child in the fucking river.
There's another one I saw that.
Okay, I'm getting fucking winter crazy. Oh my god, I'm soaked already. There isn't even a street. It's just a river from grass to grass. I was gonna go shut their trunk, but yeah, no, there isn't even a road anymore. That's fucking crazy. I have never seen rain this bad in my life. They're in my car. That's fine.
It's a solid flood. A lot of rain fell in an instant. This is Fulton Street. There was one that I wanted to see because somebody was pissed. Okay, this is the one. So you got, again, this is all hail here that clumps together to make hailbergs. Somebody posted a picture here. The cop is there to warn people to stay away, and it says, "Cops suck." Now, you got to understand, on Reddit, everybody here hates cops. This is where all of the local commies go on the Grand Rapids subreddit. Everybody here is expecting that it should be the cop's duty to get out of his car and go clear the storm drain. Well, first of all, with that amount of water, if he clears the storm drain, it's still going to take forever. Okay? And if I'm a cop, fuck that shit. No. Union rules say I don't have to. Fuck you. Have some fucking city workers show up and do that fucking job. Person writes, were you the one by Bridge Street clearing stuff out of the drains while the cops sat there in front of a flooded car and a stuck person? And the original poster wrote, yup, thigh deep in ice cold water. Well, you're an idiot. You can't. Okay, if you live there, that's one thing. But this is a cop working. I wouldn't have done that either. So everybody's all pissed off at the police for not getting out of their cars, wading through the flood, and cleaning off the storm drain. Maybe he doesn't know where it is. Fucking assholes. Let's see. Linda says, I need hail that big on my roof, so insurance will pay for it. Nick says, this is why I built on top of a hill. Don't even need a sump pump. Oh, there you go. Of course you are, Mr. Practical. I went ahead and I was in the arena when this all happened, and the basketball game was going on, and I kept getting warnings that there were severe thunderstorms moving through the area. So I was like, oh, shit. Okay. So I'm checking on Pooh Bear, making sure the dog's okay, whatnot. And at that point, those storms are coming to where I'm at, inside of this venue. And all of a sudden, the game is going on, and you hear these loud thunder bombs. And I've been doing that job for a long, long time, and I'm sure there have been several moments where there have been thunderstorms while the games have been going on, whether it be basketball or hockey. And I've never once been able to hear the thunder over the crowd. Now, it's a gold game, so there wasn't a ton of people there, but so I wanted to leave. The game is over. And it is raining like fuck, and there's hail. And people are waiting inside of the venue, all milling around the one exit door by the back. Now, all I got to do is go like 50 feet to my car. But this is the type of rain that if you take one step outside, you are soaked. Alan says, how many fans do they get per game? 15 to 20. No, they get about, I think they average, it depends on who you ask, but I think there was probably like 3,000 fans there last night. It's been improving. Thank you to Charles something for following. I appreciate you. So I wandered over to the recycle bin, and then I found a big-ass box. And then I put it over my head, and I said, fuck you guys, I'm leaving. Now, I still got a little bit wet, but this actually was effective. I've got the video for it right here, and my pal Mike Spruitt happened to be there. And as I got the box, I saw that he had his phone out. I go, all right, it's my time to shine. Let's do this.
All right, I got you.
It's ridiculous that I felt like I had to get a running start considering I had to stop to open the door. What is a running start doesn't affect this in any way. I think maybe I was just pumping myself up. Badass. Oh, I move. I look like one of the guys running through those old Benny Hill videos. I'll post this in the show notes, or I'll link it up in the show notes for you all to be able to see this ridiculousness. Nick, who works at the arena, says they do a lot better than the GR Hoops. They literally would only have 200 people at a game. Concerning my beautiful city of downtown Grand Rapids, Piano Fingerbanger says, what's up with the new amphitheater downtown? Isn't it supposed to open in like a month? But there's a ton of work left. I don't know. It looks very well done to me. And it has 2 months and 4 days until it's open. Nick here is, in a way, involved in. I think that Nick here could give you an update because he knows a little bit more about that schedule, being that he is an electrician involved with the maintaining of that facility. Nick says, I wonder if that is the box. That's the box is the one that I just had to shovel out of the drain. Oh, yeah, it was. Because when I got to my car, I just threw it. So it was blocking the drain? So you're telling me that box was helping out with the flood? Was actually making that more of a flooded parking lot? Is that what you're telling me? Yeah, you don't have to wonder about it. It 100% was the box. I can guarantee that. Well, if anybody asks, don't narc on me. I know that you wouldn't. Snitches get stitches. So that was an eventful thing. Can you imagine, though, being the guy who continues to drive through a flood? And then you're like, well, what do I do? Do I keep going? No, you stop. You turn around, you asshole. So if you're like stuck in that, can you imagine just sitting there and you see the water just coming in your car and you're like, oh, fuck, what the fuck? Way to ruin a night. All right, so that was kind of how the day unfolded for me, wrapping up the day, and I'm back there tonight for another basketball game. But otherwise, a good time, but that was a hell of a storm. I was concerned about the hail because there was so much hail. It like damaging the car, but the hail that wasn't too much of a factor. It was just a lot of it. There was a lot of fucking hail that came down. And a lot of water in a short amount of time. Cool to see those videos, though. Except for if you were involved in that. How about that family walking across the street while a river rages around them? Being swept away through the streets. My God. All right, thanks to everybody who is here right now. I appreciate you. We got some ground to cover today that I'd like to get to, including this preacher. Now, I've seen a few clips of preachers getting aggressive when it comes to getting the congregation to contribute cash. But this pastor is taking it to the extreme. Check this guy out.
Next week, I am asking that all church members bring a copy of your tax returns so that I can review them. I'm going to put a stop to some of y'all playing in my face during tithes and offerings on Sunday mornings. Amen. It's tight, but it's right.
Okay, so I think the when you're practicing Christianity, the Bible is like the Chilton's manual. You just hold up the Bible and you say it says right here. And I don't even know if it says 10% in the Bible, but that's what this guy wants. Does it say 10% in the Bible? I think it does. It says a tithe is a tenth of our earnings and is a testimony of our faith in the Lord. The Passover lamb was selected on day 10 of the first month. So what that means is if you earn $100,000 a year, you owe the church $10,000 a year. I should say, like when I was a practicing Catholic, how did they word it? 10% has to be given away off the top. So if you earn $100,000 a year, the Catholic Church wanted 5% for them, 4% for other charities, and 1% for the Catholic Services Appeal. I think, if I remember correctly. That would be $10,000 that you give away. And then that 5% that you give your church, you would get an accounting every year as to what they did with the money. And it'd be like a pie chart. Maintaining the church, paying the staff, paying to keep the lights on, saving a little bit for the rainy day fund, money for projects. And then the church itself would then donate to various charities, food pantries, whatnot. And I always felt good about that. There was a time when I actually did do that. But I don't do that anymore. I should. I actually should do that. I actually felt very good about supporting local charities with that extensive of a tithe. I will say that was in the big earning years. I remember I gave the 5% to the church, 4% of the earnings to the AT Children's Project, and 1% to the Catholic charities. To Catholic Services Appeal. So this is a lot of money. Though I'm not a practicing Catholic, I mean, I still support baby Jesus. I still should do this. But I don't. I kind of feel bad about that. Becca Shea says, yes, tithing is 10%. Cole says this preacher is our asshole of the day. Well, I don't know about that yet. Hold on a minute. Birch Barlow says the scam church that my ex went to made everyone download an app to donate from. He'll never get his private jet if his congregation doesn't give more. Alan tells that guy to get fucked. Becca Shea says buying a mansion and a Mercedes. You all right over there? Look, if a pastor at a church, a spiritual leader of any congregation, lives within their means, I think that's a good reason to. That's like one of the you can get past the sniff test there. But you see some of these scumbags that are driving very fancy cars. They dress fancy clothes. Maybe they have a jet. You've heard about some of these folks. Benny Hinn is a famous name, televangelist. And who did I talk to about this? Someone associated with the arena. Was it Nick? I don't think it was. I forget who I talked to associated with the arena. No, I know exactly who it was. It was this, I can probably, a sweet lady by the name of Lynn Ike used to work for Van Andel Arena. And she told me that when she was working there, when the Benny Hinn ministry showed up, they said that some of these people who will be in attendance at this sold-out venue will actually sign away every penny that they have. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 every time they do a gig that will actually be convinced to do this while they're there. They will go instantly from being having wealth to it all being gone. Even people who don't have any wealth are then, this guy wants you to, he's a complete scam artist. I don't want to be the guy to say that every religious organization is a scam. Nick was there. He writes, there was literally trash cans full of cash donations. Dude showed up in a Rolls Royce. I'm not going to say that this guy is that guy.
Saints, next week, I am asking that all church members bring a copy of your tax returns so that I can review them. I'm going to put a stop to some of y'all playing in my face during tithes and offerings.
I'm going to put a stop to some of y'all playing in my face during tithes and offerings.
On Sunday morning.
Amen. All right. Now, if you're a person who is giving the right amount, you would bring it just to say, Pastor, this is how much I gave, and this is what I make. So, that's an opportunity for you to score points with this guy. I mean, I doubt someone's going to rat themselves out. If your church is low on funds, I don't have a problem with any of this. Especially some of these congregations where you're getting a lot of evangelization, like this type of preaching. I don't have a problem with this being this aggressive. I do have a problem when people who cannot afford it are giving. I think that you got to kind of read the room. But you'll have somebody who makes $20,000 a year on their deathbed, and he's like, fuck you, pay me. And that's what this person writes. Everyone automatically assumes a church pastor is corrupt when asking for tithes. What people don't realize is the church has bills, water, electricity, rent, not to mention doing community events. None of that is free. It costs money. Pastor is upset that people are barely offering, and he has to carry the weight of the financial responsibilities of the church. How can you attend a church and not give 5 to 10% of what you make to help sustain the church? Just saw a video of a pastor and his wife living in their car for 2 years. I've talked to pastors who have told me they had to carry the financial burden for their church and was afraid to ask for more money to help. So when you see a pastor asking for money, don't automatically use the secular stereotype that he's corrupt and greedy. You see, that's what I'm telling you, assholes. Tophus says the pastors of the TV churches are the real criminals. Becca Shea says the poor people that give to the church are being told that God will provide. Well, yeah, I mean, I thought he did. A lot of times people in the secular world are thinking, oh, well, he's supposed to give me this. I don't think it works quite like that. I think it's much more nuanced. Piano Fingerbanger says this dude went straight outside and got in his Bentley and went home to one of his 7 wives. Cole says big church is a scam. Becca Shea says there's a video of Marvin Sapp saying pretty much the exact same thing. I've heard of that name. Is he trouble? All right, I want to get to you remember the chick who was the Nicole Curtis? She was on HGTV, and there's video that surfaced from sometime in the past where she was and she's one of these hot chicks that flips houses, and they based a show around it, which is a fantastic idea for a show. Hot chick knows how to flip a house, and then it's a reality show. And the clip of her when she did something wrong and she said fart N-word. And then she went, oh, my God, I can't believe I said that. Can you cut that? Now, that's an old clip. But from what I'm understanding now, a person tried to, extort her. Someone who was close to her said, hey, by the way, I got my hands on that clip. Pay me some money or I'm going to make this clip go public. And the clip did go public. So then HGTV ended it with her right away, and that was it. Now she is resurfaced. She went on, I think it's a radio show, The Breakfast Club, which has a video element to it. Tuesday. I don't know why she did that. And I guess it even got worse for her.
Now it says you use the term fart digger and fart knocker. You used those terms before?
So fart knocker, yes, absolutely. Fart
What's
digger.
up with you and farts?
You know what? Again, do you have boys in here? Do you have boys?
Yeah,
okay.
I have 2 boys.
I have one.
Okay, so boys talk about farts all the time. Okay, so and again, I can't swear on my show. Okay, so yes, I have made up these crazy words.
If you said fart digger, the amount of times that you said, I just feel like you should have released that 1,000,001 times, because it just seems like it's something that you've said before because it just came out so natural.
And fart digger sound like you playing in assholes all day. Why?
Yeah, that's a little nasty.
That's another conversation.
Fart digger sounds like you're playing with assholes all the time.
Said before because it just came out so natural.
And fart digger sound like you playing in assholes all day. Why?
Yeah, that's a little nasty.
That's another conversation.
No. And
why
again,
would you just be digging in random ass?
Crazy.
I don't
for
have
farts?
I don't have a rhyme or reason of the words that I make up. Like I say nonsense stuff all the time. I mean, and again, like even when I edit my shows, right? And I'll be editing my shows and I'll be like, just finish what the you're saying, because I go off on like this and that, and I'm off the cuff. I'm not scripted.
So were you trying to say something else in that moment?
Absolutely.
Because you say fart digger and fart knocker.
I say all that.
I apologize to black people.
I do. I did, and I do.
So I guess she's saying it was a mixed metaphor.
Something else in that moment.
Absolutely.
Right? Am I getting that right?
Because you say fart digger and fart knocker.
I say all that.
I apologize to black people.
She did a free bear word scramble is what she did. I'll tell you what. If you are on TV and I don't even like saying fart digger. If you're not aware right away that you are playing with fire, that's a dangerous thing to do. And then the other one is fart knocker. I mean, that is, your brain will trick you into cancellation.
Like, just finish what the you're saying, because I go off on like this and that, and say all that.
I apologize to black people.
I did, and I do. I apologize.
No, let them, the camera's right there.
Yes, I do. And to everyone out there, just Charlamagne, so you're aware, that is a word that I do not condone. So the people out there that do not use me as an example, right? Yeah. That's where I've been coming out against people saying, hey, just because I said it, I made a mistake. I know I made a mistake. You watch that footage, even the edited bullshit. Yeah. You know that I am like, Yeah. So no, don't use me as your poster child for that.
And I don't want you to think that
yeah.
coming on the Breakfast Club is just going to rehabilitate your image.
Absolutely
with black
not.
people. In fact,
Are you
it might
serious?
increase the chances of you walking through the airport and somebody going, "That's the fart lady."
Yeah, no, I mean, you have a lot of people. And again,
It might increase the chances of you walking.
so no, don't use me as your poster child for that.
And I don't want you to think that coming on the Breakfast Club is just going to rehabilitate your image.
Absolutely
with black
not.
people. In fact,
Are you
it might
serious?
increase the chances of you walking through the airport and somebody going, "That's the fart lady."
Yeah, no, I mean, you have a lot of people. And again, I didn't come on here to prove myself.
Well, yeah, you did. Come on now. You've seen your career go up in smoke. You can't be dishonest now. You might be telling the truth on all of that, and then at the end, you're like, I didn't come here to clear my name. Well, yeah, of course you did. And I don't know, maybe that's what the backlash is. I can't say one way or the other. You know what? Could this just be a convenient excuse? Like if you've said fart digger and fart knocker, like they indicated, you should have all like a montage ready to go with your PR rehabilitation team to show that this was simply just a free beer word scramble. There has to be footage of you somewhere saying fart digger and fart knocker. Fart knocker I've heard before, but I've never heard someone say fart digger. All right, so now I've talked myself into thinking that this is all just bullshit. Rich says, not her first time being sandwiched between two black guys. Well, that's ridiculous. Tophus says, you know what I say when I'm mad or frustrated? Fucking fuck cunt. Cole says you're about to say it yourself. That's the thing. I don't want to be, if I accidentally fuck that up, there's potential that I could get the fucking book thrown at me. So I don't like to say even any words that rhyme with that. It's gotten that far into my head. Tophus says you'd get banned on Twitch. Oh, probably. Fart knocker. I think one of the guys on Beavis and Butthead used to say fart knocker. Tophus says she had a lot of balls going on this show. Well, it's a last-ditch effort. You know, when you've lost you lost a show, you had opportunity to ride out into the sunset doing this great gig. Becca Shea says she is from Detroit. Piano Finger Banger says she's so 100% full of shit. I believe that too. Nick says, Zane is so afraid of saying it, he won't even call somebody a gold digger. Well, no, I would say that because it's a common thing. People have said that many, many times for many, many years. But fart digger, that puts the fear of God into me. All right, so that's her. It's kind of a disaster. They're going to know you as the fart. I don't even want to say it. The ACC basketball tournament is going on. The fans are working hard trying to rattle the players as they're shooting free throws.
Held to 3 in the first half. Foul was Minor's second. Corey hits the free throws despite the presence of the really loud guys singing the Goo Goo Dolls behind us. Not sure how that didn't throw him off. This is some list to be on. Duke, and Duke. Freshman 30.
It's outstanding. Quiet point in the game. There was some guy in the NBA last night who got 82 points for the Miami Heat. I don't know his name. I don't know anything about basketball. Fucker poured in 82 fucking points. Jesus Christ. All right. This clip is going around. I know I'm jumping around a lot, but I got a lot of clips. It's written as on the post, hell yeah, a reporter just did what every journalist in that room should be doing. At Sean McCreesh looked the president of the United States in the eye and said something. I'll play it for you in a second. Now, this is on the heels of the U.S. blew up that school in Iran. The school is right next to the military base. That's how the Iranians roll. By the way, why was school in for the day? Why didn't they call a bomb day? You know how we have snow days? Why didn't they say, all right, kids, stay home. We're getting bombed. Anybody think about that one? So there's a bombing going on, and the kids are walking to school. The kids get into the school, and the school blows up. As we launched a Tomahawk missile that hit the school instead of the military base, everybody's losing their shit. Trump, though, said, well, I don't know whose it is. It might be Iran's Tomahawk missile, which is complete bullshit. I like what this reporter did. This is pretty good.
You just suggested that Iran somehow got its hands on a Tomahawk and bombed its own elementary school on the first day of the war. But you're the only person in your government saying this. Even your defense secretary wouldn't say that when he was asked, standing over your shoulder on your plane on Saturday. Why are you the only person saying this?
Because I just don't know enough about it. I think it's something that
That was excellent. That was a goddamn takedown. You just suggested
that Iran somehow got its hands on a Tomahawk and bombed its own elementary school on the first day of the war. But you're the only person in your government saying this. Even your defense secretary wouldn't say that when he was asked, standing over your shoulder on your plane on Saturday. Why are you the only person saying this?
Because I just don't know enough about it. I think it's something that I was told is under investigation. But Tomahawks are used by others, as you know. Numerous other nations have Tomahawks. They buy them from us. But I will certainly, whatever the...
So what are you suspecting, like France bombed Iran? Bombed the Iranian school?
Report shows.
Italy launched a Tomahawk? Canada fired?
I'm willing to live with that report. Yeah, please.
Milo's in the room. Milo the cat, if you hear him meowing. Where are you, big guy? Oh, hi. Okay. That's embarrassing. Why is it so hard to just say, well, it certainly looks like it was one of ours, and that's terrible. I feel terrible about that. We'll know more in a bit, or whatever the fuck. Chris says that man has since been deported to Nigeria. That's what I thought. He's probably unalived. He's for sure getting audited. Rich says Trump's go-to is, I just heard about it. Starman says, what if that was a bomb-making school? Tophus says narcissists cannot admit that they were wrong. All right. So, yes. I mean, we all know what happened. We launched a Tomahawk at the military base. We missed. We hit the school next door. All right. This is 100% the fault of the Iranians. I don't like that the school got bombed. That makes me sad. I don't want innocent Iranians getting wasted, especially kids. Let's be 100% honest here. The only reason why we're bombing them in the first place is because they're trying to build a nuclear bomb to bomb us. So fuck that. In addition, they put the goddamn school next to the military base, and we had been staging our military for quite some time. They knew this was about to happen. This is on Iran. That's what Trump should be saying. He should say, yeah, it's terrible, and it's all Iran's fault. That's what he needs to do. Piano Fingerberger says he is incapable of admitting he was wrong. His brain just can't do it. Well, he's not wrong. He just needs to say, yeah, that was I guess we had the aim wrong. You know why? If there wasn't a school next to the military base, this wouldn't have happened. If they weren't trying to build a nuclear bomb, this wouldn't have happened. If they had called school off for a bomb day, this wouldn't have happened. I mean, you can't possibly think that this is more the U.S.'s fault than it is the Iranians' fault. You just can't do it. I mean, how can you possibly make that claim? All right, that is Act 1 of the podcast. Act 2 is available right after this one. Go check it out. What are you doing? Don't miss a second of it. Thank you so much.